from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island men's basketball and Game 2 of our CSI versus Lehman College CUNYAC doubleheader. Today, it's the College of Staten Island at 15-8, 11-3 in the CUNY Conference, taking on the Lehman College Lightning. 8 wins, 14 losses, 5-8 in CUNY Athletic Conference play, a rematch of last year's CUNYAC championship game. Today, it's about 12 minutes away from opening tip. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Bay-Busby. We want to welcome you into pregame coverage here between CSI and Lehman College. Mike, we talked about it at length during the women's game, but we talk about it once again, a game that means a tremendous amount in the standings to both teams here on the next to last CUNY game for the College of Staten Island.
Yeah, you know, like a lot of regular season CUNY seasons, this one's going right down to the wire. If you take a look at the regular season standings, Baruch sitting atop the table with at a record of 12-2, CSI right there at 11-3, and then John Jay and Brooklyn College both at 8-5, as you see on your screen, and then Lehman College and CCNY both sitting at 5-8, and Medgar Evers right there with 5 wins and 1 more loss, Dave. And, you know, as we go down the stretch of this regular season, there are so many permutations as to what could happen here heading down the stretch. But the bottom line is, if you're the College of Staten Island, you're in position to control your own destiny.
Yeah, for Staten Island, if you continue to take a look at the standings, the Dolphins, if they win their next 2, they win the CUNY championships, because one of those next 2 games is against Baruch College. So obviously, if they should finish tied in the standings, CSI would win the regular season championships and have the 1 seed, because they would have beaten Baruch twice. But the Dolphins, with 2 games left on their schedule, if they lose their next 2 and John Jay wins their final 3, CSI could fall down to as far as 3rd place in the standings. So there's a lot at stake here, and it begins today against Lehman College. And then you look at Lehman a little bit further down right now. They are tied for the 6th and final spot. Actually, I should say they're tied for the 5th and 6th spot in the standings. And Mike, not every single team in the conference is still alive in postseason play, 1 through 9 for the top 6 spots. So this game also means a great deal to Lehman. If they were to lose their final 3 games, they might not even make the playoffs. So a tremendous amount for both teams at stake.
Yeah, that's how crazy everything is in the standings. So we take a look. Nobody with more than 3 games left, and the regular season is over Wednesday. So 3 games today, Dave. York will play on the road against John Jay, Lehman and CSI right here, and then Brooklyn against CCNY. And then if you go to Monday, Hunter will play at home against CCNY. John Jay will be on the road against Brooklyn. Medgar Evers will be on the road against York, and Baruch will play at Lehman. And then to wrap up the regular season, it'll be Lehman at CCNY, CSI at Baruch, Hunter at John Jay, and Brooklyn against Medgar Evers. So like you mentioned, Dave, if the Dolphins drop both of their games and John Jay can beat York, Brooklyn, and Hunter College, all of a sudden John Jay would find themselves with a first-round bye.
Right, and the Dolphins would be the 3 seed playing in the quarterfinal round against any number of teams. It could be Lehman, it could be CCNY, it could be Medgar, and guess what, Mike? It could be York, who the Dolphins lost to during the regular season. Hunter has a long way to go if they are to make the playoffs, but still they're not mathematically eliminated. So just so much at stake, and really what it comes down to, Mike, is that if the Dolphins win today, a lot of their problems are settled, because if the Dolphins win today, even if they lose next week, at the very least they know they're going to finish in the top 2, and the top 2 is a big deal because you avoid a first round a quarterfinal game, and you get a semifinal home game against the teams that emerge from the semis. And if you look at what's going on from the 3 seed down, Mike, those quarterfinal games are going to be very tough. As it stands right now, John Jay would be playing CCNY, Brooklyn would be playing Lehman, and you know what? You may as well flip a coin in those 2 games, because you just never know what can happen. So there's just a lot being said for that 1 or 2 seed. And the Dolphins, the last time these 2 teams played, yes, they did beat Lehman, but no, it was not convincing. In fact, Lehman was winning that game for a really big stretch. The Dolphins ended up taking that game 84-79 down the stretch. They capped it with free throws, but the Dolphins with only a 5-point win at Lehman. So they have a little something to prove here on their home floor against Lehman. And remember, this is a Lehman team that beat the Dolphins on this floor last year.
Yeah, Dave, that was a game that Lehman went out to a 36-21 lead against the Dolphins in that first half. And, the Dolphins were able to come back and get their first lead at 51-49. But, Dave, when you look at those teams and you look at really almost every team in the conference and even Hunter College, is there any team that would defeat any other team in the conference where you would be absolutely stunned and say, wow, that's just an unbelievable upset? That's how close a lot of these teams are.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to expect that come playoff time, too. I mean, obviously the wrinkle of playing the semifinals at the higher-seeded teams gives those home teams a pretty fair advantage rather than a neutral site at CCNY. But the bottom line is, if you make the tournament and you think about it, everybody's 0-0, and 1 through 6, you have a good, fair shake at winning it. I believe the Dolphins last year were Mike, the 3 seed or the 2 seed. So it doesn't really matter what your seeding is. What really matters is playing a strong 2 or 3 games, and however teams play over these next 40 minutes and then the final 40 minutes of the season, that jump off into the playoffs is going to determine a lot and how teams view themselves going into the playoffs. The Dolphins are the defending champs, the 2-time defending champs. They know they need to play that way here in their regular season home finale. It is senior day. They do have the one senior in Stephen Flagg. They want to end their season on a good exclamation point here at home. They've played well here at home, and they were really on a tear before that loss to York College. Otherwise, they've been playing some pretty great basketball.
Yeah, they have been. And, Christian Taylor had a nice bounce-back game in the game against Hunter College, Dave. He was able to shoot 9 of 15 in that game and finish with 24 points. And, when you look at the CSI offense, Dave, really when Christian Taylor and Adeola Latunji are the ones hitting their shots, it really seems to open things up for everybody else.
Yeah, you know what? Everything funnels through them, and that's what we always say. We know what Christian Taylor is going to give you. We know what Adeola Latunji is going to give you. But when they don't give you what they're supposed to give you, the Dolphins need their supporting cast to cash in. And players like Stephen Flagg, players like, Delahanty and Shamal Martin and Rigo Destime, they're going to be key cogs going down the stretch. But you're right, Mike. When Adeola and when Christian are on, this is a very, very difficult team to beat, this Dolphins team. You look at Christian Taylor's numbers, 20.5 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game. He leads the team in assists. He leads the team in steals. He's a Player of the Year candidate as far as I'm concerned in the CUNY Conference. And if you're Lehman, if you want to stop the Dolphins, you have to stop him.
Yeah, Dave, we mentioned it a couple of times during the women's game, how, the women's program has been almost able to seem without an interruption from head coach Tim Shanahan to Nicole Sarcone. But, it's been the same thing on the men's side. It's hard to believe, but, TJ Tibbs has come in and, the program just hasn't really skipped a beat at all. It just continues to roll along. And, just like the women have a lot of expectations on them, the men have been able to have high expectations and typically exceed them.
Oh, without question. And I think it speaks to how great of a transition it was and how great a job that TJ Tibbs is doing with this team. Mike, obviously, Tony Petoza is, those are some tremendous shoes to fill. 27 years of basically excellence at the College of Staten Island, and to see TJ Tibbs obviously, step in and there be a very smooth transition. The team playing well, the team gets better from day to day, week to week. It's just a mark on what a tremendous job this staff has done, and obviously TJ will always yield to his assistant coaches, J.C. Albano, Orrin McKay, Kurt Manesey, Nick Duran, obviously a part of that success. So graduated 10 seniors from last year, and yet they're in the thick of it. They're fighting. They're well coached by Steve Schulman, and this is a team that plans to give CSI everything that it can handle tonight just like it did earlier in the season at Lehman College.
You know, Dave, this is a team that's lost close games all year long. They average over 73 points a game. They give up just over 76, so their scoring differential is less than 3 points a game. And, you know, this is a team with a lot of talent out on the floor, especially offensively. And, you know, if the Dolphins don't come out and play a very solid game here this afternoon, they're going to find themselves in trouble. Lehman shooting 44% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, and they shoot 71% from the free throw line. So this is a team with a lot of offensive firepower. And if the Dolphins do have trouble, Dave, from time to time, it's their ability sometimes to be able to consistently score points.
Yeah, and you know what's not good for the Dolphins, Mike, is that Lehman College plays a lot better on the road than they do at home. They're just 2-9 at home this season. They're 6-5 on the road. They have a plus 500 record on the road. They play well on the road. They average more points on the road. That's not a good sign for the CSI Dolphins. But one of the things we noticed, Mike, is that with all the graduating seniors on this Lehman College team, they get a really nice scoring balance. Like, sure, they have over 15 points per game from Gethers, and Miguel Habush is averaging in double figures. But after that, you mentioned almost 74 points per game, and it's pretty much all the way through this lineup.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned, Dave, 4 players on the Lightning coming in averaging double-digit points per game. They have been able to stick pretty even with rebounds, averaging just under 39 a game, giving up just over 38. And, you know, you look out on the floor and, you know, not really the size that we've seen from some of these Lehman College teams in the past, but, you know, they're a team that play a lot of players during the course of the game. You mentioned they have some experience on the coaching staff, and, you know, we expect a real exciting game here this afternoon.
Right, and we should mention that we're about under 20 seconds to go before the horn sounds, and we get this one underway. It is senior day. The Dolphins only have one senior, and that's Stephen Flagg. Now, Stephen missed the first 8 games of the regular season for the Dolphins, but he has since played in 15 games for the Dolphins. He started all of them, and it's a really nice moment here for Stephen, who we didn't think would be playing, but instead is going to get honored here. And we're going to throw it to the public address and listen as the CSI Dolphins honor their lone senior, Stephen Flagg. And so, Mike, will come back here as Stephen Flagg has been officially honored here, and there is his child, recent member of the Flagg family, who is posing with him. And like we mentioned, Stephen missed the first 8 games of the season, but has since started all 15 for the Dolphins. And, you know, Mike, when he came back to the Dolphins didn't lose another game until they fell at John Jay. And the Dolphins are undefeated on this floor, Mike, since Stephen has rejoined the team.
Yeah, you know, he really gives the Dolphins a different dimension. He, you know, gives the Dolphins a player that, you know, with size, that handles the ball up the floor. He's shown the ability to hit the three-pointer, and, you know, he has the ability to explode with some really big games offensively.
I'm sure we're going to talk a lot more about Stephen Flagg. For now, let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with Lehman, and we'll turn it over to Mike Babuski.
Thanks a lot, Dave. First, for the Lightning, you see the starters up on your screen. Number 2, Will Feldman. Number 15, Xavier Boyd. Number 23, the leading scorer for the Lightning, Isaiah Gathers. Number 33, Miguel Habush. And number 43, Andre Hampton. For the College of Staten Island, it'll be the same starting 5 we've seen over the last couple of games. Number 1, Stephen Flagg. Number 2, Adiola Latunji. Number 3, Rigo Destine. Number 22, Shamal Martin. And number 23, Christian Taylor. The Dolphins, of course, coached by second-year head coach T.J. Tibbs. The Lightning coached by longtime men's basketball coach Steve Schulman.
Yeah, and, you know, one of the things we should mention starting lineup-wise, no real surprises for either team. Lehman only has 2 seniors, Mike, in their entire roster. Both of them are starting here today. That's Xavier Boyd and Andre Hampton. And those are the only 2 seniors in the team. Lehman lost 10 seniors from last year. And, Mike, some great memories from all 3 of those games that they played against Lehman last year. Lehman won both regular season meetings, Mike, really almost at the buzzer. Whether it was the go-ahead or the tying points at the buzzer, and then Lehman went on to win in both venues. And then, obviously, who could forget the CUNY championship last year? Huge game by Christian Taylor. Eden Brocic had a big game in that championship, and that one ran right down to the wire as well, Mike. And that time in the third game, the most important one, the Dolphins were able to secure the win.
Yeah, you know, it was quite a ride in the regular season again with these 2 teams, and even a bigger game in the CUNYAC championship as, you know, these 2 teams come out and battle here this afternoon with really, as we mentioned in the pregame show, Dave, much on the line for both these teams.
Yeah, without question. Obviously, Lehman trying to officially secure a postseason spot. They're trying to secure some positioning. They can finish as high as the 4th seed or the 5th seed or the 6th seed. So, you know, we'll see how that pans out. And for the Dolphins, it's simple. Win and win a regular season championship. It has to start today. It'll extend next week into Baruch College. If CSI can win this game, that game against Baruch would determine the CUNY regular season championship. CSI with a win today secure at the very least a first-round playoff bye and a semifinal home game right here at the College of Staten Island. In either event, Mike, the Dolphins will have another home game. It'll just be a part of playoff action. The regular season finale here on their home floor.
Yeah, and Baruch will have to face the same Lehman team on Monday before they face the Dolphins on Wednesday. So, you know, the Lightning in a position not only where they need to solidify their place in the standings and make sure they make the playoffs, but an opportunity to beat the 2 current top seeds.
Yeah, CSI wants to beat Lehman, and then they're going to be cheering hard for them on Monday in a little turn there. So Lehman will have the opening possession. Feldman controlled early. Now this is Habush, second on the team in scoring this season. Working it around. This is Boyd. Xavier Boyd for 3 off the back iron. No good. And that rebound was interrupted out of the hands of Latunji, but Flagg was able to score it. And now Latunji with control. Dolphins with Destime and now Flagg. Flagg attacks the paint. Turnaround in the lane, off the glass and in.
Yeah, that time Flagg able to take that ball against 2 Lightning defenders and get the first points of the game.
Opening points belong to the Dolphins. 2-0 here in the early going. Coming upon our first minute here, this is Feldman. Feldman working in front of the CSI bench. Drops off, three-point range. Andre Hampton, no good. And the long rebound won by Martin. This is Taylor skating down the left side. Taylor. That one off the boot of Xavier Boyd, one of the two seniors for this Lehman College team that go with a freshman and two sophomores in the starting lineup as well. Stephen Flagg, the senior honored in pregame, will do the inbounding. This is Taylor. Taylor working one-on-one against Boyd. Baseline jumper, no good. And the rebound into the hands of Miguel Habush. Habush, left-handed dribble. What about pulling up on Desteem? Instead opts out to Feldman. Feldman to Habush in front of the CSI bench. Receives a screen. Pulls up, no shot. So we're going to get a foul before the shot. It will be on the Dolphins. It'll be on Rigo Desteem. Desteem making his 24th start here in his sophomore campaign for the Dolphins. Picks up the early whistle as Hampton controls here in front of Latunji. Hampton wants to attack the baseline, puts up a short jumper, no good, and Martin scores the rebound.
Lightning missing their first 3 shots from the field.
Taylor, Desteem, and then quickly to Flagg. From deep 2-point range, no good. Ball skates around to Martin. And Martin will reset things over to Desteem, who gets the orders from the bench. Christian Taylor over to Desteem. Receives the screen from Martin. Attacks the paint left side, and he is hacked by Andre Hampton. The 6'5 senior will pick up his first foul and bring Desteem over to the free throw line.
You know, Dave, Rigo has really picked up offensively a much higher option on the Dolphins list of options offensively, and draws the first foul and will go to the line to shoot 2.
So Desteem's first free throw is halfway in but rolls out. So Dolphins lead stays at 2.
Rigo, one of the better free throw shooters for the Dolphins, shooting 79% coming into the game here this afternoon.
Sure-handed right-hand shot. Second of 2 goes in. Dolphins split the pair. They're up 3-0. We're officially just over 2 minutes into the first half here. Feldman controls. He attacks. Now retreats. Habush resets things. Once again gets a screen. Was looking inside. Has to hand off to Hampton instead. Hampton looking inside. They finally get the ball in to Geathers. The leading scorer, Geathers, misses 1. Offensive foul on the rebound. And if it's on Hampton, it's his second.
Yeah, you know, the last couple of possessions, Dave, the Lightning, you know, kind of rushing their shots from the interior. Their first 2 opportunities were missed 3-pointers, so they're looking for their first basket of the afternoon. The good news, if you're a Lightning fan, Dolphins just with 3 points of their own, so a 3-0 early Dolphin lead.
Sophomore Gabe Cepeda comes in to replace Hampton, who picked up 2. This is Desteem attacking the rim. He gets one off the glass and in.
Yeah, big, strong move by Desteem. First 5 points go to the Dolphins.
CSI women got off to a 15-0 lead. Men are up 5-0 here to start their game against Lehman. Habush fakes right, then goes left, drops off, 3-point basket, no good. That errant rebound finally corralled here by Taylor. The miss was from Boyd. Taylor goes in underneath to Martin. Martin wants to create space, can't. Latunji now with an open jumper, no good. Offensive board, Taylor. Taylor attacks the paint, no good. Offensive rebound, Martin, and the basket. Timeout called by Lehman. This will be a 30-second timeout. And the Dolphins are up by a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, Dave, nothing going well here early for the Lightning. They've been out-rebounded 7-1, and they haven't hit a shot yet, 0 for 5, including 0 for 3 from the three-point line. The Dolphins able to get points from 3 different players, and they jump out to an early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, so CSI 3 of 7 from the floor, but Lehman 0 for 5, as Mike mentioned, and really haven't taken a great shot, although that last three-pointer was semi-open. And really what Lehman hasn't been able to do, Mike, in the early going is get the ball underneath cleanly to their leading scorer, Isaiah Geathers.
Yeah, Dave, you know, if you're the Lightning here, you know, you want to come out off of this timeout and, you know, run yourself a solid play. And, you know, if you're going to force the ball inside, you know, take your time and, you know, get your feet set under you and try to get a good shot to the rim. And, you know, the Lightning have gotten the ball in a couple of times, but, you know, good Dolphin defense forcing them to take rush shots.
Habush almost had the ball taken away from him by Desteem, but He gives it up to Cepeda. Cepeda works it around. This is Feldman. Feldman gives it back to Habush. Habush asking for a screen. Gets one. Pulls up for three. No good. Back iron. Flag is there for the rebound. CSI looking to run the other way now. This is Flag. Cross court. Latunji off the glass and in.
Boy, great body control that time by Latunji as he's able to take the ball strong to the basket, and looks like head coach Steve Schulman has seen enough, Dave.
And that's the second timeout called by Lehman. It's a full timeout. We will use it to take a break. It's the Dolphins 9, Lehman College nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, more Dolphins basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
We are back here from the tank. The College of Staten Island have scored the opening 9 points of the first quarter. Of the Lehman College Lightning did not like what he was seeing, especially after the 30-second timeout. Talked it over a little bit more as part of a full timeout. So Lehman down to 4 total timeouts. Looking for their first points. This is Feldman. Opts over to Cepeda. Cepeda back to Feldman. Again looking to force it inside to Geathers. Geathers has it taken away by Desteem. Desteem, three-quarter speed, slows things down to Flag. Flag attacking right side. Hands off, Latunji. Desteem had some problems controlling it. Gives it up to Taylor. Taylor outside, Desteem. Flag wide open. 3-point basket.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins feeling it offensively. Flag now with 2 baskets early in the afternoon, and he has 5.
CSI 5 of 9 from the floor so far. Gathers attacks inside. The block by Martin. The pickup by Flag. 3-on-2 the other way. It's Taylor underneath. He's fouled by Feldman.
Yeah, the Dolphins continue to play really strong defense, Dave, and that triggered the offensive rush as Christian Taylor was able to take the ball to the basket and draw the foul. He's looking for his first points of the afternoon, the second leading scorer in the CUNYAC Conference, averaging 20.4 points per game.
And if you follow Christian Taylor all season, you know he had a pretty difficult start from the free throw line, but he has turned that completely around. Taylor now just a hair under 75% for the season at the free throw line, and he gets there very often, and he is 2 for 2. And the Dolphins have opened up a 14-0 lead here over Lehman as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first half.
The 147th free throw for Christian Taylor, by far the most on the team.
Habush now attacks, finds the paint. He's hit into by Desteem. That'll be Desteem's second personal foul now in the first 4 minutes and 46. And Habush is going to have a chance to put Lehman on the board.
Yeah, and sorry, Dave, that's probably the only negative for the Dolphins in this first 5 minutes is they're able to pick up 14 points. And Rigo didn't like the call on that play, but does pick up his second. And head coach T.J. Tibbs going to leave him in the game, Dave.
Mo Idrisu has come in, the freshman for Lehman, as Habush, who's very good from the free throw line, sinks his pair, and it's 14-2. As Mike mentioned, this team still in the game for the Dolphins, playing with 2 fouls, controls the ball here. Dolphins have not wavered from their starting 5. Stephen Flegg left open for 3!
Yeah, Dave, you know that when Flegg feels it, you know, he has the ability to really score 8 of the first 17 Dolphin points.
And Lehman with their zone coverage have left Flegg wide open twice, as almost losing it was Habush. Getting on the floor to get it back was Habush. Nice save for Lehman, but there's only 12 on the shot clock. This is Cepeda, sidesteps one Dolphin, had his shot blocked by Shamal Martin. At last touched by Habush, and the Dolphins will get it as you take another look at Flagg's open three-pointer.
Yeah, Flegg starting out red hot here this afternoon. 3 of 4, 2 of 3 from the three-point line.
Dolphins as a team shooting 60%. Lehman is 0 for 8 from field goals so far, so they're still looking for their first bucket. Inside give to Taylor. He was hit by 2 Lehman players. No whistle. Taylor works it around. Destim now for 3. No good. Rattles around. Defensive rebound by Hampton, who's come back into the game with a couple of fouls. Hampton left open for 3. That's good.
Yeah, and that was just the second rebound of the game for the Lightning. And, with that basket, the Lightning get themselves right back down just 12.
Yeah, and that's the danger here as head coach T.J. Tibbs, sporting a Stephen Flagg jersey and cornrows like his lone senior. Take a look at the open 3 there by Hampton.
Yeah, so Lightning finally get on the scoreboard from the field as they're just 1 of 9 from the field here to start the game, but find themselves down just 12 with 14 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, and Lehman is a very dangerous three-point shooting team. They have 5 players who've hit on 23 or more three-pointers this season, and as a team, they have shot 162 threes this year. CSI 163, so both teams depend heavily on the three-point basket. CSI once up by 15, up by 12. Latunji bounces out of trouble, finds Flagg. Round the horn, Destim. Lehman's intensified their perimeter defense. Inside give, Taylor. Shamal Martin had problems controlling, goes up with it, off the glass, no good, and rebound won by Lehman.
Damn. Side Dave Martin doing a nice job around the basket, but couldn't finish.
Lehman intensified their pressure on the perimeter. Dolphins looking to work it inside, but Habush and Hampton not on the same page there as Hampton tried to find Habush.
Yes.
No one home.
So the Lightning turned the ball over for the second time, and it will be Dolphin basketball.
Christian Taylor slowing it down, raising his fist, barking out the offensive play. Left-handed dribble gives over to Kartalis. Kartalis had his 3 blocked, and the rebound goes Lehman's way. Delahanty has come into the game. James Delahanty for Shamal Martin on that last whistle as well. Kartalis came in to replace Destim.
Sorry, Dave. Kartalis, one of several freshmen who played very well for the Dolphins this year.
Wide open 3 by Idrisu. He misses, and Delahanty scores the rebound, gets himself in the box score. Flagg now. Around the horn, Kartalis thought about a 3, opts out to Flagg. Flagg back to Kartalis, baseline, jumper for Latunji, and that's good. No one marked Adiola.
Yeah, so Latunji now 2 of 3 from the field. He has 4. Dolphins by 14.
Dolphins up by 14. Their biggest lead was 15. Inside give to Gethers. Gethers has had problems getting on track. Teardrops that one, no good. And the rebound won by Taylor. Taylor creating space, gains the paint, off the glass and in.
Yeah, the Dolphins go as far as their point guard, Christian Taylor, takes them, and his second basket, he's got 4.
Biggest lead of the game for the Dolphins. We are 7.5 minutes in. Feldman trying to make some space. Gives it over, long three-pointer halfway down for Hampton, but rolls out. And off the mitts of Habush, so the Dolphins will have it with a full 30. And coming into the game will be Boyd to replace Gethers, who's been very quiet here in the opening stages. Gethers 0 for 3 from the floor with a rebound and a turnover. This is Taylor now, over to Flagg. Flagg, another three-point go of it, no good. Long rebound won by Latunji, and he will reset the offense here. And now it's turned the ball over, and this is Idrisu all alone the other way, and that one's in.
Yeah, so the Dolphins able to grab the rebound, but then turn it over.
It's the first turnover of the game for the Dolphins, and Lehman able to make them pay as a result. Kartalis now gives it over to Flagg. Flagg cross court to Kartalis. Give to Latunji, inside Delahanty. Taylor wide open, top of the arc, no good. And Hampton scores the rebound. Dolphins trying to take advantage of that Lehman zone. That's leaving players open, couldn't get it to go. There's a whistle before the play. And some contact there on Boyd. It'll be on Delahanty, his first. Idrisu now left open from long two-point range. Dolphins will dare him to shoot from there. This is Feldman trying to create some space. He has to backpedal instead. Receives the screen, attacks at the elbow, gives inside. Nice job by Idrisu. He earned some contact. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Feldman, breaking down the Dolphin defense, getting inside, and then feeding the basketball inside to a wide-open Idrisu. He couldn't hit the shot, but he will go to the line to shoot two as Stephen Flagg picks up his first personal.
Idrisu almost automatic from the free throw line this season, 12 of 14. And we'll get our first look from Tommy Batista, a long-distance threat for Lehman College this season in a reserve role. Second free throw is good by Idrisu. And Lehman, with only 2 field goals so far through the first 9 minutes, have cut the Dolphins' lead to just 12 now. Taylor, round the horn, chance of defense come up from Lehman College contingent. To our left, Delahanty attacks inside, and he's able to score one over Andre Hampton. And Mike, the Dolphins attacking Hampton, who has 2 fouls.
Yeah, that time Delahanty fighting his way inside.
Is Hampton now attacking from the right side. His shot was short. Not sure if the Dolphins got a piece of that one. But either way, the Dolphins will have possession here on another failed attempt down the floor. Lehman just 2 of 14 from the field here in the early stages, less than 15%. Flagg, inside give, Delahanty opts out to Latunji, baseline jumper, halfway down and out. Offensive rebound, Delahanty. Cartalis, open 3, no good. Long rebound, ping pongs over to Batista. Batista's going to attack from the left, off the Dolphins, I believe. That's going to be Lehman basketball. No, it's off Batista.
And that time, Dave, the Dolphins had a couple of open looks as we have an opportunity to see that last Delahanty basket, but Dolphins with a couple of open looks to break this one open early, not able to convert, but forcing the Lightning turnover, and Lehman now turning the ball over for the 3rd time. Let's see if the Dolphins can take advantage with a 14-point lead.
Host of substitutions came into the game. Gethers is back for Lehman. Austin Mick has come in, and Joe Ziris has come in for the Dolphins. Taylor attacks, but he earned some contact, and he will not go to the line. The foul will be whistled on Xavier Boyd. It's his first. Dolphins will get 20 on the shot clock. Cartalis will do the inbounding. Give to Mick. Mick left open for a short second there. Gives it up. Now inside give to Joe Ziris. That shot, I believe, was blocked from the back by Batista. Altered the trajectory. Here comes Lehman the other way. Boyd, he spots up for 3. Wide open. No good. Long rebound. And it is won by Idrisu. Lehman will get a full 30 to work with here. Nice. Second chance opportunity. Sorry, Mike.
Nice offensive rebound by the freshman.
It's Feldman spotting up for a long 2. No good. Offensive rebound. And it is Batista for 3. No good. And that time Taylor will earn possession back for the Dolphins, who find themselves up by 14. They've led by as many as 16. And Taylor slowing things down, puts up 2 fingers, calls the offensive play. Give over to Mick. Cartalis now. Inside. Ziris finds a wide open Mick. Opts to come in instead. His shot was blocked and rejected out of bounds. Last touch by the Dolphins, but Gethers scores himself a block. That shot clock should be reset. There it is.
And the Lightning doing a nice job here, Dave, over the last couple of minutes. Much better on the defensive end against the Dolphins.
And much better on the interior, Mike, as well. Dolphins were making it a point to get it inside the paint, and Lehman has kind of locked that up here in the last couple minutes. This is Boyd. Boyd inside give Idrisu, and getting in the way of that attempt, I believe, was Taylor. Tried to reach in there. But non-shooting, so Lehman will have a 20 on the shot clock, and we'll get another offensive opportunity. This is Gethers. Gethers yet to get on track. He's 0 for 3 from the floor. He's Lehman's leading scorer, just under 16 per game. Errant pass saved by Lehman. This is Feldman now. Feldman, Idrisu. Feldman again. In between the legs. He attacks. Nice job by Feldman. Coming inside his shot. No good. Long rebound. Won by Lehman. Another offensive board for the Lightning. They now have 3. Boyd cutting in. Gains the paint. Short jumper. No good. And Ziris gets the rebound.
Zeris, a late addition to the team, Dave. He's added a lot to this team and had a couple of big free throws to seal the game against CCNY last week.
His father, Jay Zeris, a CSI great. This is Delahanty with an offensive rebound. Give inside to Zeris, and he scores the layup. Nice awareness by Delahanty to know where Zeris was. Dolphins have reassumed their biggest lead, 16 points. Lehman mired in poor shooting, 2 of 19 so far. Oh, that was a walk and a half by Batista. He got away with it, scores the baseline jumper. I don't know if they felt Batista might have gotten hit, and that's what altered, but he took about 4 or 5 steps leading into that shot. Taylor inside give to Zeris. He powers over Gethers and scores the layup.
Yeah, and he gives the Dolphins another offensive force inside. He's got 4.
And that one is going to be a turnover for Lehman. They got to fix that scoreboard, Mike. It's 27-11. And we're going to have a timeout. And now they put that score up, and it's reflected. Full timeout is called by Lehman College. I believe it's on Lehman. It is a full timeout for the Lightning. We will step aside, take a break. Dolphins up 27-11. Stay with us.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Back here at the tank where the CSI Dolphins are owners of a 27-11 lead. David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski here, bringing you all the action. The CSI women were big winners over Lehman in their half of the doubleheader, and Mike, in a game that is critical to the Dolphins securing a first-round bye. They've been in complete control so far.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a good start, Dave. They played well defensively. The Lightning have also not done themselves any favors, missing a couple of open shots there. 3 of 20 are the Lightning from the field, just 1 of 9 from the three-point line. Dolphins out-rebounding Lehman 19-11, Dave, but over the last couple of minutes, it's been Lehman College that's been able to do a much better job on the interior, as you mentioned, rebounding the basketball. And, for the Dolphins, Joseph Zeris checked into the game, and, he's been a force so far with 4 points and a rebound.
Yeah, great addition to the Dolphins very late in the season. This is Taylor, finds Flag in the corner for 3. No good, it was well short. Taylor gets the offensive board. Inside give to Zeris, and he was demolished inside, but what a pass by Taylor. And that'll put Joe Zeris at the line. Zeris, a very short sample size, but he is a 50% free throw shooter, 4 of 8.
So Taylor starts out slow from the field, going just 1 of 4, but already picks up 5 assists, Dave, in this first half, and, makes the play that puts Zeris on the line for 2 free throws.
And Dolphins now have their biggest lead, 17 points, with 1 more upcoming for Zeris, who makes the second, is now 6 of 10 for the season, so goes from 50 to 60% with 2 flicks of the wrist. Dolphins up by 18. Coming in for Lehman was Raheem Bakari. He handled, gives it off to Feldman. Feldman around the hole. Batista for 3. That's good. Right over Austin Mick.
Yeah, and Dave, the Lightning shooting 34% from the three-point line. Finally get one to go down after 9 attempts.
Yeah, Lehman does take a lot of three-pointers. All season long they've been doing that. That was their 10th attempt of the half. We're 14 minutes in. Flag over to Taylor. Taylor inside to Zeris. Great pass by Taylor, and Zeris scores the rebound.
Yeah, Taylor distributing the ball here in the first half for the Dolphins.
6 assists for Christian Taylor. This is Bakari. Couple of dribbles. Lehman works it around. Left open Adrisu for 3. That's good at the baseline.
Yeah, so the freshman showing ability inside and out.
Dolphins again control. Taylor over to Flag. Flag back to Taylor. Inside Delahanty. Spot. inside to Ziris on the bounce pass. Great assist by Delahanty, and Ziris making it hurt on the inside.
Yeah, 10 points now. 4 or 5 shooting for Ziris.
Bakari was looking inside, has to opt out to Feldman. Feldman now receives a screen, and that's going to be an illegal screen. It's going to be on Gethers. And Gethers, who still has no points now, guilty of his 3rd turnover and his second personal foul.
Yeah, big turnover there for the Lightning as they're trying to battle their way back from their poor shooting start. Give the Dolphins another opportunity.
And I apologize, that's Gethers' 3rd foul, Mike, at least according to the official statistics. As Taylor misses the short jumper. Tries to get in the way of Feldman, almost lost it. Feldman in the corner, Batista for 3, no good. And Taylor scores the rebound, bodies flying. Taylor running up at full speed. Bounce pass to Delahanty, in the corner Mick. Taylor inside, pass was errant, and it was picked off by Habouche.
Yeah, just a 2nd turnover for the Dolphins in the first half.
In the corner again, Batista, he skates inside, pass was interrupted by Taylor all the way into the stands.
Yeah, Dolphins continue to play a strong game defensively, and just like the women's team, Dave, the Dolphins like to do things off their defense.
Christian Kopak has come in for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Lehman, we'll get another look here from Gabe Cepeda, who came in to replace Gethers, who indeed picked up his 3rd foul. Habouche, who also hasn't gotten really on track, and there's a sweeping layup coming in from the left side. For Habouche, that is his 4th point, but his first basket of the game. Lehman has cut the lead to 14. Dolphins have led by as many as 18. Flag now for 3, no good, missed it to the right, and Adrisu gets the rebound. This is Feldman now to give inside Cepeda. At first he overran it, doubles back, it scores the layup, and Lehman on a run.
Yeah, they are on a run, Dave, and they've cut the Dolphin lead all the way down to 12.
And for that, they will take a 30-second timeout, Mike, so we will keep it right here as the Lehman College Lightning have, like Mike said, put this one down to 12 points, and they've been able to do it, Mike, with some pretty good transition play.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a 10-4 run, Dave. The Dolphins opened up the lead to 29-11, so they opened the lead up to as many as 18. But, the Lightning have ability, and they've shown it all year long. And, for a team that's come out and, really struggled from the field, they've been much more efficient offensively. Their last few sequences, they have their shooting up to 28%, and they're only down 12.
Yeah, and at one point, Lehman was shooting well under 15%. They've now moved it up to 28%, 7 of 25 from the floor. The Dolphins 13 of 30. Both teams struggling from 3-point range. Dolphins are 2 of 11. Lehman is 3 of 12. Nothing overwhelming in either scenario there. Christian Taylor will reset things here. The give is to Kopak. Might take a while, so. We are back. We are back here. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We will work to get our scoreboard in check, but the Dolphins here with a 43-25 lead. So the Dolphins are up by 18. This will be the last play here. Last sequence, 2 seconds and 1. Taylor puts it in at the buzzer. And the Dolphins will take a 20-point lead into the locker room, 45-25. And we'll be joined by CSI head coach TJ Tibbs in just a moment. All right, TJ, welcome. You take a 20-point lead into the locker room in a game that you got off to a really hot start. Tell us a little bit about the performance.
Yeah, I think we're playing inspired. I think everybody is channeling around the energy for Stephen Flagg. Very integral to our program. Playing well, we're hitting shots. That definitely helps. And two of their better guys, 43 and 23, were a little bit of foul trouble. So I know when they come back in, they're going to be ready to go attacking the basket and hitting shots. But definitely proud of the way we finished the half. I mean, Rigo, that team starts off really well and kind of puts himself in foul trouble with a silly foul. So we got to clean that up a little bit.
All right, and you mentioned Stephen Flagg obviously being on it pregame. What's it like to honor a player like that, a guy who's been on the team for 4 years, and we were missing for the first couple of weeks of the season? How great is it to have him back and be able to do this for him?
Yeah, to tell you something, and this has nothing to do with basketball. His character just pales in comparison to what he does on the basketball court. He's just an awesome young man and somebody who personally my relationship has developed with, and he's made me such a better person, and then again such a better coach. Him coming back definitely coincided with us playing well. He's been our MVP since he's been back, and to be a 4-year player in this program, a program that I've been a part of, it just means a lot. It's not a lot of times you see a 4-year player come through, somebody who didn't really play much, didn't play his freshman year too much, didn't play too much his sophomore year, played a very big role last year in starting and earning it, and has come back and has been nothing but the heartbeat of the program. So for people to be here and for our program to honor him, it's just what athletics is about, and I hope this is something he remembers for the rest of his life.
You know, Coach, with 2 wins to finish the regular season, you still have an opportunity to win the regular season in the CUNYAC Conference. How important is it to the team to finish in first place?
To tell you the truth, it's important to just get the next possession. You know, we definitely can't think about anything like that. We got to control what we can control. We just got to worry about this game. You know, Lehman, we were up a lot of points in a 100 game, and they came back and cut it to 9. So I know the kids aren't looking at that, and it would be bad on my part to be thinking about anything else but this game right now.
All right, Coach. Great first 20 minutes. Come out strong in the second.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, you're welcome. Head coach T.J. Tibbs talking about the relevance of Stephen Flagg here on Senior Day, and of course the Dolphins back it up with a huge first half performance, up by 20. Mike, we went off the air for about 3 minutes of the regular season, but for the regular season, 3 minutes of the first half. But we are back. The Dolphins were tested when we went off the air. They were down by just 12. Lehman crowd was starting to get into it here, but the Dolphins really responded after that timeout.
Yeah, they got a couple of big 3-point shots down the half. And during that period, Christian Kopech hit a big 3-pointer. He's 2 of 2 from the 3-point line in this first half. And then Stephen Flagg came back and hit a big 3-pointer of his own to finish the first half as the leading scorer for both teams with 11 points. So, the Dolphins were tested. Their 18-point lead went down to as low as 12. It was 12 points, and Lehman had possession of the basketball, but they weren't able to convert. The Dolphins made them pay, and then that big last-second shot by Christian Taylor that took an 18-point lead and upped it to 20, which enabled the Dolphins to go into halftime with their biggest lead of the game.
All right, so with that, we will step aside, get ourselves resituated after our mini blackout there. We're able to get it up in time. Thank you very much to Nick Durst and our engineering crew to get us back on the air, and of course to get us on with TJ right before before we throw it a break now. So the Dolphins are up by 20, 45-25 here at halftime. We'll take a break, come back, break down the stats, and get you ready for the second half right here live from CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. Stay with us.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast.
It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream.
called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be. So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind wanders.
They have this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you.
I got a crick in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. Better than ones get on. Very sad, no more love. All that I could do was remember you. You know I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Oh, listen now. Can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now. Can you feel the sun?
Welcome back to the Tank here at the campus of the College of Staten Island. It has been a big first half for the CSI Dolphins. They raced out to a 14-0 lead and lead Lightning at halftime 45-25 on a day where they have honored senior Stephen Flagg. And, you know, Mike, the Dolphins were good in a number of areas. They protected the basketball well. They shot predominantly well. They were good at the free throw line. And as a result, they're on pace for a good amount of points here and have good control over this one through the first 20.
Yeah, you know, they came out fast, like you mentioned, Dave. They opened up the lead to 14-0, as you mentioned. But then, you know, the Lightning did a nice job of their own as they were able to make it a 12-point game at 33-21. But a nice job by the Dolphins, Dave, to close the first half on a 12-4 run and, you know, really be able to go into the first half with a lot of momentum after Christian Taylor hit that nice shot at the buzzer to give the Dolphins their biggest lead of the afternoon.
And we'll take a look at the first half stats for both sides as we got about 2 minutes before the start of the second half. You can see the disparity in shooting. The Dolphins just a hair under 50% at 48.6. Lehman 26.7. They've been struggling, and they've been struggling from beyond the arc, where they usually make a good clip. 4 of 16 so far for a quarter of their makes. The Dolphins not too much better, but a little bit more efficient there. Free throws have been good for the Dolphins. It's an area that's escaped them on a number of occasions. Lehman 5 of 6 in that department. But you see, Mike, the Dolphins are plus 11 in rebounds, and they've been really good with the basketball in their hands. Only 3 turnovers. Lehman good on their side as well. But, what did we say in the women's game, Mike? When you shoot free throws well and you protect the basketball and you're winning the rebounding margin, you're going to win a lot of games, and the Dolphins are up by a big margin.
Yeah, and, you know, Dave, a lot on the line in this game for the Dolphins. And, you know, depending on how you look at it as a head coach, an opportunity to either get that first round bye or put yourself in a position where you don't have to play in that first round. And, you know, Dave, we mentioned it before. Some coaches like to play in the quarterfinal round. Some coaches and ADs don't. And, to me, the way that this conference is shaping up, if you have an opportunity to get a bye and have the ability to play one less game, to me, that would be important.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. You know, it's one thing if it's a 1-8 game where you know you have a marked advantage, but with the playoffs being what they are, I think that getting that first round bye is is critical, and the Dolphins are 20 minutes away from, guaranteeing at least that, and then they can concentrate on the regular season title in a few days. The teams are getting set to come back out for the second half. Mike, we do have a scoring update from elsewhere in CUNY. John Jay leads York College 30-23, and that's at halftime. The only other game that's on the docket today is Brooklyn taking on CCNY. It's a CCNY home game, but that game is being played at York College, and that game gets underway at 4 o'clock. So it is 4 o'clock on the nose right now, so that game should be getting underway. And hopefully by the time we end our broadcast, we'll have maybe a halftime score for you there. But every single game that happens from now until the end of the season is going to have a big effect on how these teams shake out. And CSI, just as you heard TJ Tibbs say, wants to just concentrate on the next possession, and CSI will have the opening possession of the second half.
Yeah, and the Bloodhounds just 8-5 in the regular season, but they beat the Dolphins twice, and trying to put a little bit of pressure on them up in their game here so far this afternoon.
So Taylor controls for the Dolphins. They go with Destime, Martin, Flagg, and Latunji as Rigo Destime cuts in and scores the first basket of the second half. Dolphins with their biggest lead. And dating back to the first half, they're on an 11-1 run. Gathers puts one over his shoulder. Layup is good.
Yeah, that's his first basket of the game, Dave.
And his first real attempt since about the 14-minute mark of the first half. He's 1 for 4 from the field. Destime racing to his left, steps back, has to put one up. He was off balance, looked like he was going to trip on the play. Tried to give it up to Martin, and the Dolphins, who only had 3 first-half turnovers, commit their first, and Martin's going to get called here. He had a hand firmly on the back of Gathers and jumped in front.
Yeah, Martin played just 7 minutes in that first half, Dave, and picks up a foul here in the first minute in the second half, the first foul for Shamal of the game.
And it wasn't because of foul trouble that he played less, just that James Delahanty played a very efficient first half and stayed in the game. Feldman giving it over to Thompson. Thompson long 2, no good. Hampton, no good, and it'll be a rebound for the Dolphins. Hampton, too, was very limited due to foul trouble. Baseline jumper for Adeola Latunji is good to go. Latunji with a quiet first half, just 4 points, only 4 shots taken. He's on the board here early in the second. Dolphins match their biggest lead, 22 points. Wide open three-pointer for Boyd, no good, and the rebound is going to stay with Lehman as Andre Hampton had position on Rigo Destime. Rigo is going to get called for, that was on Latunji, his first. Dolphins call for time. I believe they only have, it's going to be a full timeout. So they'll take a seat at the stands, on their bench. It's a full timeout indeed. Dolphins up by 22. We'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, more men's basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
We are back here from the tank. The Dolphins have themselves a 22-point lead. Lehman with another opportunity here as they were able to get the offensive rebound thanks to a foul called on Adeola Latunji. So Lehman will have possession here. CSI has been whistled for 2 fouls here in the opening 1 minute and 23 seconds of the second half. Lehman trying to scratch their way in, Mike.
Yeah, Lehman just needs to get themselves a little bit of a run here. And, Dolphins doing a real nice job against Andre Hampton here this afternoon. As he was a very efficient offensive player coming into the game here this afternoon, Dave. 46% from the field and 45% from the three-point line. But Dolphins doing a great job defensively on him this afternoon.
Yeah, he was limited due to foul trouble as well. But he's averaging close to 15 points a game. He hasn't played a big portion of the season. He joined during the second half, so this is only his 12th game. This is Habush for a short jumper. No good. Misses it short. Offensive rebound also misses for Hampton, and Jamal Martin's able to corral it. For Martin, that's rebound number 6. This is Flag up top to Desteem. Desteem to Taylor. Taylor inside feeder to Jamal Martin. Turnaround jumper from 9 feet out. That's good.
Yeah, and Martin, one of the future faces of this Dolphin team, he now has 4.
4 points as Boyd skates in, right to left, gets himself a bucket. Once again, 22-point edge. Dolphins are 7 of their last 8 from the field. As Flag hands it off to Desteem. Desteem back to Flag. Flag for 3, no good. And Hampton gets himself the rebound. For Hampton, that's rebound number 5. That leads the Lightning. This is Feldman. Feldman stops, and looks like Gethers was pushed by Martin, so Martin now is going to get called for his second foul here of the second half.
Jamal pleading his case, Dave, but nobody listening as he picks up his second personal and 3 early fouls for the Dolphins as a team here in the second half.
Ethan Lizarraga has entered the game for Lehman. He replaces Feldman. And this is Habush going in strong. No good, though. As Flag will control. Cross court to Desteem. Desteem attacks. Has to hold up. Taylor looked like he was jostled, and he was. This is going to be a foul on Gethers. Oh, no, it's not. It's on Boyd. It's his second.
Yeah, that time Taylor took a karate shot to the head and picks up the foul, and draws the foul, I should say.
Desteem now attacking baseline, gives over to Latunji, back to Desteem. Thought about a 3, attacks baseline again, cross court to Flag. Flag, left to right, right to left, and he puts it off the glass and in.
Yeah, that time Flag taking the ball from the 3-point line right to the basket as the Dolphins have matched their biggest lead of the game.
And Flag leads all scorers now with 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting. This is Gethers. Gethers for 3, no good, misses it to the left. And another foul on the Dolphins on a rebound opportunity. It's going to be on Stephen Flag. So Flag will pick up his second as you take a look at the moves inside by Stephen Flag.
That time Flag going up against 2 bigger players using his size and strength as Dolphins pick up their 4th team foul in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Make that 5, yeah. And so for the Dolphins, who only committed 7 fouls in the first half, are now up to 5 in the first 3:20. And nothing really on shooting fouls at this point. This is Gethers. Gethers spinning in the lane, puts one off the glass, no good, and Flag gets the rebound. Flag now with 7 rebounds is tied with Taylor for the team lead. This is Flag now. Stops, top of the arc, that's good, just inside of 3-point range. Stephen Flag now with 15.
Dolphins 5 of 6 in the second half. Lightning 2 of 9 in the second half from the field. Equals a 26-point Dolphin lead.
Lizarraga coming in. Wants contact, gets it, and the foul. So Lizarraga, the 5'10 sophomore guard, scores his first points of the game in only his second minute of action. For Christian Taylor, that is foul number 2. You got another look at that one.
This is as fast as I can remember, Dave. The Dolphins getting to 16 fouls in a half, less than 4 minutes to pick up 6 personals.
Yep, that's something they're going to have to worry about here. It'll certainly be a factor. This is Stephen Flag now, who's done a host of the scoring here for the Dolphins. Desteem attacks, gives off to Martin on the baseline, draws some contact. He wants the foul, doesn't get it, but the layup counts. And the Dolphins up by 35. Excuse me, 25. Gave him an extra 10 points. Idrisu thought about a 3, kicks it inside of Hampton, no good. He misses it, and Latunji gets the rebound. Lehman once again coming out cold here to start the half. This is Flag inside, little too strong. Might have been expecting a little contact. Lizarraga has it taken right away by Taylor. Taylor inside, he's fouled by Hampton.
Yeah, Taylor, not really shooting or scoring that much so far here this afternoon. Beautiful play to force the turnover and take the ball to the basket strong and draw the foul. And, now Andre Hampton picks up his third personal, just a second team foul for the Lightning here in the second half.
You see the free throw shooting flash on your screen. Dolphins miss for the third time. Looks like we're going to have Gabe Cepeda coming in once again for Hampton, who's been limited all game. Batista has come in as well for Lehman. He replaces Boyd. Second free throw, no good for Taylor, who's having an off game here. 2 for 6 from the field and now 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Actually make that 3 of 6. 7 points. He does have 7 rebounds and a couple of assists. Idrisu kicks it around Geathers. Geathers, spinner in the lane, blocked by Martin out of play. Lehman will retain possession with 8 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Lehman trying to force the ball inside. The Dolphins doing a nice job with their interior defense. Lightning have to inbound.
Limited time on the shot clock, and that one is thrown away. This is Destime the other way. Unimpeded, no good, but Latunji's there to follow.
Yeah, nice follow by Latunji, sticking with the play. Dolphins with their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, that's why you follow those shots. Destime was expecting a foul. Dolphins have their biggest lead. Lizarraga gives it up to Geathers. Geathers, an open two-pointer, no good. Fight for the rebound. Shamal Martin gets it. Touchdown pass to Flagg. Flagg 1 against 2, retreats. He's going to take on Andrusu. He goes inside, no good. Shamal Martin with the tip in. Dolphins starting to exercise their will on the interior. 32-14 advantage of points in the paint. Lehman needs to talk it over.
Yeah, they do need to talk it over, Dave. Just like the first half, starting out the second half, very slow shooting, just 3 of 13 from the field.
Full timeout call by Lehman. We will step aside, take a break. Dolphins with their biggest lead, 61-32, 14:06 remaining. Stay with us.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. The CSI Dolphins comfortably in control. They lead by 29 points, 61-32 with 14:06 remaining. You know, Mike, the Dolphins were up by 20 at the break, and they've expanded that to 9, even though they picked up a host of fouls here in the second half.
Yeah, it comes down to the defense of the Dolphins forcing poor Lightning shooting, and some of that defense helping on the offensive end. The Dolphins 8 of 12, 67% from the field here in the second half. The Lightning just 3 of 13, and, just like the first half, Dave, struggling from the field.
Scoring updates from around the CUNY, Mike.
Yeah, it's CCNY with an early 15-6 lead against Brooklyn College. So, once again, these teams evenly matched, and, CCNY off to a good start against Brooklyn.
And John Jay still leads at halftime over York by 7. And there's a three-pointer by Idrisu, who was a nice surprise for Lehman in the first half, and he's back in the scoring column here. He's got 10 points. He leads all Lehman scorers. Nicholas Taylor, who came in after the timeout, controls, gives it over to Destime. Now Flagg. Christian Kopak has also come in. Flagg with the turnover, taken away by Geathers. Geathers looked for Idrisu. He almost lost it and is able to give it back. And here's a three-point attempt. No good. Open was Cepeda, who missed it.
Yeah, Lehman's had some open looks from the three-point line and that they haven't been able to convert. And interesting, Dave, Nicholas Taylor making his first appearance of the game here this afternoon.
Destime inside, give to Martin, and he puts it in. Nice feeder that time on the give, and Martin now has turned things up here in the second half. He's got 10 points. This is Batista. And there's a short jumper, no good by Lizarraga. Offensive rebound by Geathers. Geathers rethinks it. Idrisu for 3, no good. It was halfway down. Offensive rebound by Lehman.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are going to pick up the foul. That's going to be on Stephen Flagg, as Stephen will pick up his third. So the Dolphins go into the penalty, Dave, with 12 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, with a big enough lead that it probably won't have any impact on the game. But the Dolphins in the penalty very early here in the second half.
So on the 1-1, both teams get to sub. Feldman comes in for Lehman, and Ziris comes in for CSI. Ziris replacing Flagg, obviously, after picking up his third. First free throw, no good by Cepeda. Dolphins able to save it. Nice job underneath by Martin. Jamal Martin with 10 points. Saved that one from going out as well. This is Ziris, 15 on the shot clock. Tries to penetrate, gets stonewalled, and there's a bounce pass. No good. It's still alive. Desteem has it. It's off of the leg of Desteem. He thought it was off of Lehman, but Lehman will get a fresh 30 here. And with 12:15 left, Lehman can try and cut into the lead.
Yeah, Dolphins turn the ball over for just the sixth time this afternoon.
Feldman controls. He's had a very low-key day as well. Just 3 points, 3 assists. Gives it over to Batista. Batista inside give. They find Geathers open for 3, and he nails it.
There it goes. So Geathers, who was held scoreless in the first half, 5 here in the second half.
And he's 2 of 9 from the field. All 5 points, as Mike mentioned, here in the second frame. Nicholas Taylor working against Batista. Goes to the right, gets over to Desteem. Desteem bounce pass to Ziris. Ziris working inside against Geathers. Gives it over to Taylor for 3. No good. Ziris is there for the offensive rebound. The put in is going to be a travel against Ziris.
Yeah, but, Ziris continues to show you a lot, Dave. He was 4 of 5 from the field in the first half to go along with a couple of rebounds and a nice play there. He couldn't finish and got called for the travel.
CSI is led by as many as 29. They now lead by 25. Lehman on a mini run. Geathers spots up from the elbow, no good, and Nick Taylor gets the rebound. Dolphins haven't scored now in 2 minutes. Taylor controls, gives over to Kopech, thought about a 3, looking inside, opts out to Taylor. Taylor, inside step on Batista, gets it over to Desteem. Desteem receives a screen, getting it over to Ziris. Ziris trying to back in. Nick Taylor wide open for 3, decides to skate in. His shot is emphatically blocked by Cepeda. And here comes Lehman the other way. Adrisu off the glass and in.
Yeah, so nice turn from offense to defense as Lehman trying to creep their way back.
And the lead is cut to 23 as Lehman now has a 6-0 run. Check that, an 8-2 run for Lehman. This is Taylor. Taylor back over to Desteem. Desteem to Ziris. Dolphins playing around the perimeter. Outside again. 7 on the shot clock. Dolphins need to advance. 5 on the shot clock. This is Taylor looking to put it up. No good. It catches a little bit of the rim. But Lehman gets the rebound either way. This is Feldman. Dolphins getting ready to put Delahanty and Cartalis back in. Cepeda. Bounce pass. Adrisu thought about a 3, kicks it over to Feldman, back to Adrisu. Adrisu spotted up by Martin. Ball is loose. Lehman keeps it alive, but intercepted by the Dolphins and Desteem. Dolphins want to settle things down. Now half speed up the floor. It's Taylor. They call a timeout, and it will be a timeout for the Dolphins as they reset things, take a full timeout. Dolphins lead 63-40, 9:40 remaining here in regulation time. We'll step aside, take a break. When we return, more Dolphins men's basketball action. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver. The one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Welcome back here to the Tank, the campus of the College of Staten Island. The CSI Dolphins are in full control here, up by 23 points, but Lehman on an 8-2 run, 5-0 run. A part of that, and Dolphins looking to find their offense again, Mike.
Yeah, Dave, it felt like Lehman's last possession, They had an opportunity to put up a 3 kind of in the rhythm of the offense and possibly cut the lead down to 20, but said the Dolphins able to D up and force the turnover. Dolphins get possession of the basketball, take the timeout, and now an opportunity to open up the lead. Inside of just half of the second half remaining, 9 minutes and 40 seconds, Dolphins find themselves up by 23, trying to clinch a bye in the opening round of the CUNYAC tournament.
The Dolphins have led wire to wire, but they haven't scored now in 3.5 minutes. They give over to Kopech. Kopech drives inside. He's going to get to the free throw line. Layup was no good. And Christian Kopech, who's had a very quiet season, has 6 points in this game. He's 2 for 2 from the floor. He's going to have his first free throw attempts as well. Kopech this season, and even 50% from the line. He's 7 of 14. That one is no good. The Dolphins as a team are 66%.
Dolphins are now 0 of 3 from the line here, Dave, in the second half. Just 6 of 11 on the afternoon.
Second free throw is good for Kopech, so he stays at 50% for the season and now has 7 points in the game in 9 minutes. Dolphins with their first points in almost 4 minutes with that free throw. Lizarraga, right-handed dribble, gets it in the corner to Idrisu, back up to Cepeda. Cepeda, Lizarraga. Gets it over to Feldman. Feldman for 3, and that's good.
Yeah, big three-pointer there by Feldman as Lightning try to stay in touch, down 21. They need stops, Dave, on almost every defensive possession.
Feldman 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. This is Delahanty backing his way in, but travel on the play as Delahanty gets called for the turnover. The Dolphins now with 8 turnovers, matches Lehman College. Dolphins only had 3 turnovers in the first half, but 5 here in the first 11 plus. Lizarraga thought about a 3, skates inside, finds the paint, over the trees, no good, gets it back himself. That's a travel violation.
Yeah, so the Lightning hurting themselves there. And, interesting for the Dolphins, Dave, not a single starter out on the floor is head coach T.J. Tibbs giving some of his other players an opportunity to shine in the second half of the final regular season home game for the Dolphins.
Kopech for 3, no good. Rebound, pinballing over to Idrisu. He gives it over to Feldman. Dolphins have scored only 3 points in the last 6 minutes, but Lehman has not been able to take full advantage. This is Idrisu, baseline 3, over everything, no good. Lehman players falling there. Cepeda gets up under his own power. This is Nick Taylor. Taylor in the corner to Cartalis, an open 3-point basket, no good. Offensive rebound by Ziris. And he's going to go to the free throw line, maybe not. No, it will not be just a possession foul here. Lehman, only their 4th team foul. Isaiah Geathers has come back in.
Impressive physical rebound that time by Ziris to grab the rebound and draw the foul.
Cartalis over to Kopech. Kopech to Ziris. Ziris to Taylor. Kopech controls. Thought about a 3. Inside gives Ziris. Ziris looking for some help. Being double teamed. Cartalis and Taylor. Taylor for 3. No good. Force field now on the rim for the Dolphins. They've scored just 1 field goal in 6.5 minutes. But they're up by 21. That's because Lehman has had their problems now. Shooting 31% in the second half. Feldman for 3. No good. Long rebound. 1 by Idrisu. Lizarraga. Handoff Geathers. Lizarraga. Lizarraga takes on the trees. Gives it out to Geathers for 3. No good. Struggles continue from beyond the arc for Lehman. They're 3 of 9 in this half and 7 of 25 for the game. 28%. Nick Taylor to Kopech. Kopech inside, give Delahanty. Delahanty. Offensive foul as Delahanty caught Angel Nunez with his right elbow. And Nunez has things to say to Delahanty. Nunez went right after Delahanty. Not quite sure what that was about, but Idrisu, Lizarraga. No look, Feldman inside, and the inside give is completed. Idrisu gets it, and now the lead is cut to inside of 20. It's 19 points. Dolphins led by as many as 29. 13-3 run for Lehman. Cross court, Taylor can't get away from Lizarraga. The give over to Cartals. Inside give, Ziris. Ziris bumped and the foul. Whistle a little bit late, Mike, but I thought the call was the correct one. Ziris had position. He's going to try to complete the three-point play.
Yeah, Ziris once again, playing strong and physically for the Dolphins. He has 12 points for the Dolphins so far in the game here this afternoon, and, that's good for second leading scorer on the team, and he's done that, Dave, on 5 of 6 shooting and 2 of 2 from the line. So not only has he scored well, but he's played very efficiently for the Dolphins.
He has missed, though, his first free throw after going 2 for his first 2. Dolphins back up by over 20, 21. Inside, and there's the running layup missed by Nunez, and the rebound won by Taylor. Taylor gives it over to Flagg, who has checked back into the game here with under 6 minutes to go. Stephen Flagg gives over to Nick Taylor. Most of the CSI starters getting extended rest time on the bench. Flagg trying to make space to the right. Give over to Ziris. Long two-pointer, no good. Long rebound, won by Ziris, and he gives it over to Flagg. Ziris with 4 rebounds. This is Flagg. Flagg trying to get space, losing it temporarily out of bounds. So the Dolphins with another turnover now. They have 10 on the game. And number 31, Raheem Bakari, has come back into the game for the Lightning.
And, you mentioned, Dave, the Dolphins, who only had 3 turnovers in that first half, 7 turnovers here so far at half number 2.
Batista gives over to Nunez. Nunez looking inside. No one's home. Gives it over to Batista. Almost picked off there, time by Cartalis. There's Lizarraga. Lizarraga likes going inside and getting position, and we're going to get a foul called on Delahanty. Lizarraga is going to go to the free throw line.
Not sure about that one, Dave. That time it looked like a case of the Lightning player kind of getting himself off balance and a little bit of contact inside, but nothing you're not going to see on any basketball play. Instead, Delahanty picks up his 3rd personal.
And for Lehman, they are now 2 of 3 from the free throw line here in the second half, and 7 of 9 for the game. Second free throw is no good. Dolphins just 1 of 5 in the second half from the free throw line. Nick Taylor now with extended minutes, getting double teamed. Gives it over to Ziris. Ziris bounce pass inside Delahanty. Guess there's no contact on that one, Mike. Not consistent here late, but the Dolphins still up by 20. Back pass to Lizarraga. Lizarraga given some space. Finds Geathers, who's open for 3. Opts out of the 3. Drives inside off the glass and in.
Yeah, that was a nice strong move that time by Geathers as he takes that ball to the basket. And Lightning make it an 18-point game, but clock getting late for the Lightning.
Geathers has 7, all in the second half. This is Flagg. Flagg looking to drive. Needs help. Finds Delahanty. Delahanty gives it over to Flagg. 13 on the shot clock. Dolphins will reset.
Good job by the Dolphins finally running shot clock here in the second half.
Ziris getting bumped. Lots of contact underneath. Ziris off the glass and in.
Ziris loves that physical play, and he's played very well here in the second half, and he now has 14.
Getting to that point in the game now where the Dolphins really could lock it up without even having to take a shot anymore, as Batista misses the underhanded running layup, and the Dolphins will very wisely slow things down. Nick Taylor, who still has not found his way onto the score sheet, gives it over to Flagg. Flagg is CSI's leading scorer with 15. He gives it over to Cartalis. Cartalis to Nick Taylor. Taylor for 3. And so Taylor has his first basket of the ball game. He's 1 for 5 from the field, 3 points. This is Lizarraga for 3. No good. And the rebound won by Cartalis. He was bumped into by Bakari. Lehman's 6th team foul as we get a another look at the play by I'm going to call him Jay Ziris for a long time. Joe Ziris, off the glass and in. Jay, of course, having played for the Dolphins for 4 great years. Austin Mick has checked into the game for CSI. This is Taylor. Taylor skating in, gives it over to Flagg. Thought about a 3, spots up. This is way off. I don't know if that was a long 2 or a 3. But the Dolphins now, with 3:13 remaining, give it back to Lehman. If the Dolphins hold on and win this game, their next home game will be as part of the CUNYAC semifinals right here at the College of Staten Island.
And, of course, Dave, we mentioned that the standings so jumbled up and this conference and teams so evenly matched, it would really be almost impossible to figure out who that game would be against.
We know it would be on Tuesday the 19th. Originally scheduled for either 6 or 8 p.m. at CCNY. We have learned, Mike, that if the Dolphins do host a semifinal on that Tuesday night, it would be at 7 o'clock. There's a 3-pointer by Batista, no good. War for the rebound, won by Delahanty, almost lost it, goes across court to Mick. Mick almost has it stripped. He gets it back. He's getting double teamed. He gives it over to Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor now gives it over to Mick. Dolphins slow things up. Dolphins intercepted. Getting their fingertips on it was Batista into the hands of Bakari. Lehman College needs a lot of points in a very small amount of time. Batista spots up, free throw extended, no good. Bakari, offensive rebound. Bakari, no good on the putback. And Stephen Flagg gets himself a rebound coast to coast. Nice move by Flagg. He's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, you knew that that was a play, Dave, where Steven was going to take it coast to coast. Not able to hit the shot, but able to draw the foul. And, Flagg, the leading scorer for the Dolphins in what will be his final regular season home game for the Dolphins.
And, Mike, I misspoke. The CSI men's semifinals are on Wednesday the 20th, not Tuesday the 19th. So Wednesday the 20th, CSI would be here at the Tank, 7 o'clock start. Brian Gomez comes in replacing Ziris, who played well for the Dolphins. Amazing. And the only thing in doubt from here, Mike, is who the Dolphins would be playing. And obviously they'd be playing the winner of a quarterfinal game, so it could be any one of a number of teams that finish from 3 to 6.
And the Dolphins looking to finish, Dave, as regular season champions and still can do so if they're able to defeat Baruch on Wednesday as Stephen Flagg goes to the sidelines for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, the foul was called, and now he gets to go off the court. No, actually, I don't know why. Oh, because the Dolphins are over the limit with fouls, 10 or 9.
Yeah, I think that if
Yep, it is a 2-shot foul, so that is the 10th. So Stephen Flagg's ovation for coming out of the game will have to wait. We're going to have him at post-game talking to us. And that one is good. And now Stephen Flagg will get his ovation. Nice job by Stephen Flagg. He'll be replaced by Shola. A great career for Stephen Flagg. That's not over yet.
Yeah, Dave, and the Dolphins hope it's a long way from being over. Of course, the Dolphins looking to repeat as CUNYAC championships and get that NCAA bid. So, Dolphin fans hoping for a few more games still from Stephen.
Score should be 72-50. Lehman made both of their free throws. We'll get that updated as quickly as we can. Delahanty tried to bounce pass. That was no good. And Batista now goes coast to coast. No basket. Foul was made before the layup attempt.
Yeah, Austin Mick is going to pick up that foul, Dave, for the Dolphins. And with a 22-point lead, of course, Mick could have stepped aside and, allowed Batista to go to the basket. But Dolphins come out and, they play 40 minutes, Dave, regardless of the score. So McPlain defense picking up the foul.
Scores from elsewhere in CUNY. York has taken over the lead over John Jay, 46-42 with 9 minutes to go in the second half there. And coming near halftime over at York College, where CCNY leads Brooklyn by 10, 32-22.
York 4-10 in the conference, Dave, but one of those 4 wins against the Dolphins, and just goes to show what we've been talking about, that, you take a John Jay team that's played very well and York College out in front in the second half.
Taylor now, no good, but Ashola gets the offensive rebound. Dolphins could wind this game clock all the way down to inside of 10 seconds before having to take a shot. Brian Gomez needs to get rid of the ball before he gets called for a 5-second violation. He gives it over to Taylor. Taylor back over to Gomez. Gomez with 3. 13 on the shot clock. 10. Now with 5. He's still coming in, and turnover. So 15 seconds left.
Side Dave, Brian bouncing the ball off his foot. Turns the ball over, so the Lightning with the basketball.
The Dolphins are going to complete the season sweep of Lehman College. They won by 5 the first time, but were in charge from the jump here in this one. There's a three-pointer off the glass for Batista. Cuts the lead to 17. Dolphins do not have to do anything with the ball, and that's it. So the Dolphins up by 20 at halftime, win by 17, 72-55. We'll be joined very soon by senior honoree Stephen Flagg, who happens to be today's leading scorer with 16 points and 9 rebounds. It'll be fun to talk to him for a little bit. And Mike, the Dolphins, more importantly, they lock up on either a 1 or a 2 seed. There's no way they'll play in a quarterfinal. They'll get a semifinal home game. That's got to feel good for this team.
Yeah, Dave, it'll give the Dolphins an opportunity to sit back and, let teams numbers 3 through 6 battle it out through a quarterfinal round, and then they'll sit back and have an opportunity to play. And whether they're the 1 seed or the 2 seed, of course, will be dependent on their game against Baruch College this Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, so we'll make our way. Now they're giving cupcakes to Stephen Flagg. Typical CSI athlete, always thinking about food before coming to the table for their post-game interview. And Stephen Flagg manages to get himself a bite before he gets over here. So, and gets a visitor. That's awesome. From Anthony there. Thank you. All right, Steve, thanks for joining us. We're sorry we took you away from the cupcakes, but you'll get to that. Steve, first and foremost, congratulations on a great career here with CSI. It was great to see you come back this season. How much fun are you having this your last year?
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm around a tremendous group of guys, my coaching staff. Everybody welcomed me back with open arms. It feels real good. It's a real positive atmosphere, and it just feels good. It just feels good.
I know that you knew that when you came back that you were going to assume a big part of this team, be a lot of that, that big presence, that senior leadership. Tell me a little bit about the role that you found yourself when you came back, the things that you had to do.
When I came back, I knew I had to be more of a physical and dominant presence to show the younger guys that you're playing against men. So men aren't going to take it easy on you, not on the court and not in life. So I just came in, showed guys like it's about being tough, believing in yourself, and that was my leadership role, and it's working out for me and it's working out for the guys. They're playing with tremendous confidence, and I'm proud of everyone.
Stephen, you've had so much success throughout your 4-year career as a CSI Dolphins, and, the team now one way away from winning the regular season CUNYAC championship. What are you looking for from this team for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, looking for consistency, hard work. Just because, say we do win the CUNYAC championship, regular season championship, that doesn't mean that we've won everything. Don't smell the roses. I don't know how you say it, but don't smell the roses before it's over. This is my last home game of the regular season. I'm just trying to take everything in, and I just want to teach the guys that just don't give up. Don't think you have something before you actually have it. That's what I meant to say. Don't think you have something before you actually have it, because anything can happen. And, yeah, that's it.
So you know what, Steve, with this win here, you guys at least guaranteed yourselves one more home game, and that'll be a part of the semifinals. You guys locked up at least a number 2 seed. So that's got to feel good knowing that you're going to give your fans one more look at you guys before you try to get that championship.
Yeah, it feels good because that game will be on a school day, and we haven't had any home games on a school day in the second half. So we want to show our school spirit, and, Danny the Dolphin's always there for us, Appreciate him, and we're just trying to take it all away, but it's just one step at a time,
Well, listen, Steve, we'll let you get into the locker room, but I just want to tell you, as someone who had you in the classroom as well, someone who's watched you play for 4 years, it's really been our pleasure watching you perform for the Dolphins. We hope we get a long line of players like you to join our program. Congratulations on a big night tonight, leading scorer of the game. Great day to honor someone like you. It's been a pleasure watching you play, and good luck the rest of your way. Hope you get that 3rd straight chip.
I hope so, too.
All
Thank
right,
you.
man,
I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
So Stephen Flagg, our player of the game, obviously, gets honored during pregame. Another shining example, Mike, of what College of Staten Island student athletes are all about. Very well-spoken, always thinking about the guys behind him and the guys in front of him with the coaching staff and the rest of the team. And you want them to win because they're such great people.
Yeah, Dave, there's really no doubt about it. And you heard during the senior ceremony, Stephen picking up his degree, and that's really the most important thing for these guys. And just a pleasure to watch. And we mentioned it during the women's game, but these years go by so quickly, and it's when you think back what this program was 4 years ago compared to today, it's always been successful. But there have been so many changes, and Stephen's been such a big part of it. And again, it's the years just roll on by. But another great senior player for the Dolphins, and how many of these men players have had just so much success on and off the court as CSI Dolphins.
Very well said, Mike. And, of course, the big thing throughout the whole game was the Dolphins chasing a regular season title. They're 1/2 a step away. They took one step today. They have one more step this coming week. They have their final game of the regular season against Baruch. No matter what Baruch does on Monday, the regular season championship will be determined next week when CSI visits Baruch College. Of course, that game scheduled for February 13th on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. at Baruch. So we hope our Dolphins contingent can be there. And then our next broadcast, Mike, will be a part of the CUNYAC basketball playoffs. Right now, 99% sure we're going to be back here a week from today for women's basketball action as the Dolphins will play a quarterfinal game as the number 3 seed. Right now, anyway, a lot has to happen for still to be determined, but we'll have the final results of that, and of course we'll have whatever semifinal game the Dolphins draw. Obviously, we won't know who they're playing until the quarterfinals have been done. So a successful day here for the Dolphins on both sides. The women win big, the men win big. We'll be back here for playoffs, and it wraps up a great senior day for us.
Yeah, Dave, it's hard to believe the regular season on the home side coming to an end for the Dolphins, and, for both the men and women's side. 2 very successful regular seasons, and both teams going into the playoffs as real live teams in the tournament, both teams with big opportunities to advance. And the men have consistently made their way into the finals and have won the finals, and for the women, they'll look to make it and be the CUNYAC champions for the second time in the last 3 years.
So for all of us here at the College of Staten Island, for feeding us stats all game long, Tom Krichkowski and Samantha Flecker, for Joe Cusimano working camera, for our engineers today, Chris Notaro and Nick Durst. Want to thank all of our crew, and for Mike Babusky, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a great rest of the weekend from all of us here at the College of Staten Island and CSI Sportsnet. Once again, your final score, Dolphins 72, Lightning 55. We'll see you soon, everybody, and have a good weekend.